Hello, 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 everyone. It is your girl, Gabrielle Reyes, and we are in the kitchen today thanks to our wonderful friends at Honda. So, today I'm cooking up a traditional Haitian recipe near and dear to my spirit and soul. I personally am half Puerto Rican and half Haitian as well. I got a ton of other cultures in there too. But most importantly, we are cooking up something that is Caribbean, it is colorful, and it is 100% plant based. We are going to be making some spicy Haitian beef kebabs. And the beef is actually going to be made out of these juicy mushrooms. I have two different kinds of mushrooms. So let's get into this recipe, y'all. The first thing I want to chit chat about is actually our wonderful mushroom marinade. Now, this right here, ooh, I could just smell it. It smells delicious. This is a mixture of some vegetable broth as well as some beef seasoning, which is actually a mixture of different kinds of herbs, spices, all that goodness. And then I added in some maple syrup and plant-based Worcestershire sauce, or I like to say W sauce too, because sometimes I can't pronounce it. So what we're gonna do is chop up all of our mushrooms and then add them into this marinade and let them soak for at least 3 hours. The longer, the better, and it'll just have that nice meaty texture. Now, the best way to chop up our mushrooms, I want to let y'all see, is first chop off the sides, and you're going to create as much of a rectangle as you can, just like that. Boom. We have a rectangle of mushroom right there. And we're going to use all of these sides as well, but the main meaty section that we're going to want to put on here, we're just going to chop into 4 pieces, just like that. And this is what's going to be our beef in the kebabs. Obviously, it's not beef. It's a mushroom, I know, but it's going to taste beefy. It's going to have that beefy texture, and it's going to be so delicious. So I'm going to add this into our marinade, and then I want to show you all these other mushrooms that I'm using here today as well. These are our trumpet mushrooms or king trumpet mushrooms, and these are so good. You can use these to make pulled pork or even chicken or fish. I love to use them for a bunch of different stuff. In fact, I don't know if y'all know this, but there are thousands of different kinds of mushrooms. And some of us only taste like a few different kinds of them. But for me, I have made it my goal in life to make sure to just discover different kinds of mushrooms and find out exactly how you can season them, make them delicious, make them flavorful, make them flavortastic, and get that craving that you desire. So I'm just going to chop this into nice little spheres just like this. And you can honestly chop this into some squares or rectangles if you want to as well, just like that, if you want to have that kind of piece. But for me, mostly I'm just going to cut it, keep it simple. I ain't trying to make this too complicated, y'all. And the main part that is going to shine bright in this recipe is our Haitian epis. It's got the seasoning, it's got the spice, and this is something that is truly necessary if you're making Haitian recipes. If you're making a rice, if you're making it plant-based, if you're making something that's meaty, hearty, carby, it don't matter. As long as it's got that Haitian epis, then it's got that true culture, that soul food in there. So what I want to do is I want to marinate all of these mushrooms in that nice juicy sauce, and all this is going to soak in there. And like I said, the longer you can marinate it, the better. This has been marinating for about 3 to 4 hours. It might even be 5 hours. So you know it's good. Some of these pieces are fully soaked and saturated in all that goodness. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push down any of those pieces that need to get within that liquid. And what we can do now, y'all, while this is marinating, we can make our Haitian epis. Now, this is pretty much the salsa of Haiti, or, you know, in Jamaican culture, you have jerk. In Puerto Rican culture, you have sofrito. In so many other cultures, in Italian culture, you also have marinara sauce and stuff like that. Every single culture has some kind of sauce that is just necessary as long as you're making that culture's recipe. So somebody asked, would it be okay to let these mushrooms marinate overnight? How long can you go? I would say overnight is always best when it comes to marinating mushrooms. I would say no longer than 3 days, or else, you know, you don't want any nastiness growing on your mushrooms after that. But I would say 2 to 3 days. Let them soak, let them marinate in all that goodness, and then you are Gucci to go. And what do you know? Next part, let's make our Haitian epis. And what I want to do is actually chop up some bell pepper. This is one of the key ingredients whenever you're making Haitian epis. We also have some other seasonings and spices. But first, chop into your red bell pepper, and you can just cut it into small pieces like that. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. But we're going to make sure we use red and green pepper to get that full color, that full flavor, that sweetness. And these aren't too spicy of peppers. This is one of those recipes that you can kind of choose your own adventure when it comes to the spiciness. I love to add in a Scotch bonnet pepper, which is this right here. Huge Scotch bonnet pepper. I mean, this is just juiciness upon juiciness. And this is going to add in that true sweet heat. Some people also call it a habanero pepper. I call it Scotch bonnet pepper. It don't really matter as long as you are putting it into your recipe. Now, the other things we have for our Haitian epis, we have some green onion, chives work as well, some lime juice, thyme, ooh, so necessary, as well as some clove. Ground up clove is always best. If you can't find clove, allspice is good too. And then some parsley. Now, something that I found, I even remember when I was a little child smelling this whenever my parents would make recipes. This is a bouillon cube. I was able to find myself a little plant-based bouillon cube. This is actually beef flavor, so it has like fennel and it has some rosemary and sage in there. And we're gonna use all of this to create our epis. And we're also gonna be adding in some apple cider vinegar and some garlic, some onion, a little maple syrup, and then some oil too. Yes, y'all, we are going to be singing. We are going to be dancing. We're going to be vibing along as we make our Haitian epis. So here are all my ingredients. Let me get out my blender. That way we can mix it all together. Ooh, and this is what the Haitian epis looks like also, FYI. This is, ooh, it tastes so good, y'all. Let me just get, you put it on everything. Sandwiches, tacos, nachos, burritos. It don't matter. Put it in your recipe. Now, this has traditionally been made in a mortar and pestle. So you grind it up with like literally two rocks. One hollowed out rock and one bigger rock. And you smash it all together. That is the true traditional way to make it. Or you can use it. You can make it in a food processor. For me, we are going to be using a blender. And that works as well, too. So don't worry if you don't got all the fancy things. Or if you got yourself a little mortar and pestle, yo, give it a go. Give it a glow. That'll have the best flavor in it. Don't you know? All right, so let's add in our green onion right here. How long does it take to make it in a mortar and pestle? Ooh, I would say, I mean, it's a labor of love. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do to get through. Here's our clove right here. I would say it definitely would take closer to like 15 to 30 minutes to make that, opposed to like 15 to 30 seconds, which is what we're going to do in the blender right here. Also, this is a key ingredient. Add in your celery. Personally, I love drinking celery juice. It's one of my favorite things. I mean, to be honest, it is up there, top 10 favorite things that I need in my life. And so I love to add celery in this. And of course, it just adds in that true, nice, earthy flavor. Make sure to cut it up into smaller pieces. You don't want to add it in there with the full stock or else it'll just be harder to blend it down. Now, here is our Scotch bonnet, our habanero pepper right here, y'all. And I swear, this is like the largest one I have ever seen. So add it in there. It's going to add in that nice heat in there. We've got our bouillon cube. This is a plant-based beef flavored bouillon cube. And then I've got some lime juice. We're going to deal with that in just a second. But first, we got our parsley. Now, something I love to also do, if you got some extra greens up in your kitchen, if you got some extra herbs that are kind of wilting down, some lettuce, some kale, some broccoli, it don't matter. Some zucchini, it don't matter. Whatever you got, you can add it into your blender and then just add in those extra vegetables. Hide them in there with a sauce. Yo, don't tell nobody they're in there, but put them in there anyways, okay? So I've added in most of my ingredients. I also want to add in some of my thyme, this right here. Now, the easiest way to remove thyme from its stem is go against where the herb grows. And y'all saw it just like that. it was easily able to come off. I even sometimes do 2, 3 at a time. Let's see if it works. Hey-o, there we go. Boom, beautiful. All that thyme coming off. And it's gonna blend together. If you are Caribbean and you know a thing or two about eating rice and peas or any kind of Jamaican Caribbean recipe, I'm sure you've had yourself a piece of thyme stuck in your tooth once or twice. Sometimes you just get lazy and you're just like, you know what, I'm just not gonna take it off the stem. I'm just gonna leave it in there as it is. Okay, so we've got most of our stuff in there. Let me add in some of my garlic and my onion. Got some white onion right here, as well as some garlic. And you don't have to mince up the garlic because we're gonna blend it up. It's gonna mince it all together. I like a lot of garlic. I would say about 1/4 cup of your onion and then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of your garlic. Next, we gotta balance out that spiciness from our Scotch bonnet habanero pepper. I'm gonna add in some maple syrup. If you know anything about me, you know I'll be adding in maple syrup into all of my recipes. And then to balance out it even more, we gotta get that spicy, that sweet, that salty, that sassy, and that acidic. So here we got some apple cider vinegar. Add that in there right there. And then we're gonna add in a little splash of some oil, and we're gonna add some more along the way. But before we blend it together, let us work on this lime. And I wanna show you all this little hack that I discovered recently. This is the best way to get out the lime juice out your lime. Grab yourself some tongs, grab yourself half of a lime, put the tongs close to the meeting point of the lime. Get it nice and angled up and just squeeze. Oh, it's so much easier to do it this way than doing it with your own hand. This is engineering right here, y'all. Technology. Oh, come on now. All right, let me get out even more of it. And if you want even extra lime flavor, add in that lime zest, y'all. Get it in there. It is so delicious. Okay, so I got my lime right there. Somebody just said, you just blew my mind. I know, right? This is the hack you need for your snack. And this is low-key super satisfying just to squeeze it out, knowing that you're going to get all that juicy juice. All right, so there we go. We've got the tongs, we got the lime juice, we got the herbs, and in fact, let me add in just a splash of my already made epis. In fact, let me just add it all in there. Why not? Come on. Bring it all together. That's what's great about these kind of recipes too. They are never ending. Just adding the old epis to the new epis. It keeps the flavor just round and just delicious. All right, so now let's pop the top onto our blender. Let's blend it up. And let's give it a go. Give it a go. Oh. All right, y'all, we got our full cardio workout in, and we got ourselves some Haitian epis. I'm gonna add in a splash more of some oil. There we go. And also, fun fact, you can add in some plant-based mayonnaise or some hummus if you want to get it nice and creamy and smooth. So, post it in there, y'all. That's so good. Beautiful. Okay, so we can set this aside for a little bit because now it is time to assemble our skewers, and then we can roast them. We can cover them up with all of our delicious epis. This is honestly the fun part. If you got kids, this is where you call the children and, hey, kids, come on in. This is the part where you get to be involved because this is the part where you get to use skewers. Well, I don't know how many kids are going to be safe around these skewers, but they are going to be fun. So have an adult, looking over the kids and be like, you good with that? You safe? We all good? All right, we good. So what we're gonna do now, y'all, is we've got our marinated mushrooms, we've got our onion, some bell pepper, we've got our epis. In fact, let me pour our beautiful Haitian epis, Haitian epis, Haitian epis, Haitian epis, Haitian epis, Haitian epis. Haitian epis put you at peace, okay, because the flavor is so good. All right, so now I've got my epis. Now let me also grab myself a little brush right here. I love this brush. It is so good. It is so perfect, especially with things like this. Now, I've got my peppers, my onions. I've got my marinated mushrooms. They've been soaking, ready, all kinds of delicious. And now, what we're going to do is assemble everything together. So, grab yourself a skewer. Some people like to dip their skewers in water. Personally, for me, I found you actually don't have to do that, specifically with this recipe, because we're not using meat. Instead, we're using the mushrooms. Oh, and if y'all are looking to add in a little bit more plant protein, what you can do is actually blend in some soft tofu, or like I said, blend in that hummus or some lentils into your epis. And then that way, you add in that plant protein, you got the meatiness, got the juiciness, got the color, and you are good to go. So grab yourself an onion. I like to always start off my skewers with an onion. I don't know why. Maybe it's because white, just a nice blank slate. And then add in a bell pepper. This is where you can have fun. Honestly, do whatever you want. I like to just mix up the colors. We've got green, red, and orange bell peppers. And then I've got my chopped up mushrooms right here. Ooh, she juicy. Look at that right there. And then just start the process over. Add on more of those bell peppers. Add on more of that red, that orange, that green. And then I like to switch out the different kinds of mushrooms. So I got my portobello mushroom there. And then now I'm going to add on my trumpet mushroom. And then since my trumpet mushroom is white, I'm going to start off my little stack right here with something red, something orange, something green. I have a saying, eat the rainbow, because when you do, you get all those nutrients from the rainbow, and come on, it looks beautiful. It is fabulous. It is flavorful. It is fun, and it's also festive. I mean, you can make this any time of the year. This is something great that if you want to roast it during the summertime, go for it. If you want to bake it up for the winter months, go for it. Do whatever fits your spirit and your soul. That's what I say, okay? But most importantly, have fun, especially when you are stacking them all up. All right, somebody else said, what are some other vegetables you like to use if you don't like peppers? Ooh, so I would say zucchini. I would say, let's see, some squash or sweet potato. Some red onion would be really tasty as well. Let me think. Sometimes I like to just think of like every single color in the rainbow, and then I go down my head and think of literally every single kind of food. If you're really into eggplant will be so good on this, because it would just be meaty and hearty and delicious and soak up any of that flavor. If you want to add on some tofu or your plant-based meat, if you like to use any kind of meat, then I would say put that on here too, y'all. Just make sure you're getting some kind of color from every kind of way. Ooh, even if you're feeling kind of funky, kind of fresh, you could add on some beets too, if you're looking for a little red action too. Maybe even some apples. You know what I'm saying? Just go with whatever you like. Just make sure it is seasoned, it is marinated, it is flavorful, it is zesty, and that there's different kinds of colors on there. Let's say carrots would be really tasty as well. All right, so let me add on some more mushroom. And then once we're done with this, y'all, I think we're going to be able to cover these up, coat them, and then add on all of our epis and bake it up. All right, one more onion. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Boom, just like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, obviously you would make thousands of these for all of your friends. I got tons more I'm about to cook up. So what we're going to do is add on all of our epis. This is what we blended up, and you're just going to paint it on. You could paint it on one side, and then we're just gonna flip it and paint it on the other side. What I like about this epis is honestly, it does a really good job at sticking to all of the vegetables. You can also take it out halfway through baking it all together, or if you're grilling it on the open flame, if you're using an oven, an air fryer, whatever you're doing, make sure to take it out and do another pass of that epis. Give it another bit of that sauce about halfway through. That way, it's gonna be so delicious, y'all. All right, so give it a good flip, just like that. And then we're gonna paint on some more of our epis. Oh, y'all, it is time for my kitty cat to eat. But oh wait, he's not in the room. I was hoping he would say hello. All right, so somebody is wondering how to keep the cook of the vegetables consistent. Oh, honestly, it's all about baking them at the right temperature at the right time. So for this one, I'm baking it at 420 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then all that bell pepper, the onion, the mushroom, it all cooks perfectly. As long as you're not cooking it at too high of a heat, it'll all cook perfectly together. I guarantee. All right, so now I've almost got these fully coated and covered, and we're gonna pop it into the oven to let it bake, simmer, roast up, and get all kinds of good. All right, so there we go. We've got our skewers, the mushrooms, the epis, the peppers in there. Let's pop it into the oven, and we're just gonna let this cook on up. And as these are cooking up, they are gonna get so delicious, roasted, and just like I was saying, they're gonna end up perfectly cooked. Look at that, y'all. Look at that all together. I wish y'all could smell this right now because it is incredible. Look at that. Perfectly roasted, falling off the skewer because she's so good. Now, this is a fierce and fabulous recipe, and she'll be cute by herself, but I do have something else that is a traditional, delicious, wonderful side that goes with any kind of Haitian recipe. This is my Haitian rice and beans, and it's got some kidney beans. We also added in epis into this. I also added in some garlic, a little bit of salt, pepper, of course, rice, and coconut milk. Oh, y'all, it is so good. I already had myself some. I ain't gonna lie. I had myself a bowl. I gave my husband a bowl. I was like, you get a bowl, and you get a bowl, and you get a bowl. So we're gonna serve ourselves up some of these rice and beans right here in the middle. Just plate it up. This is my favorite way to plate down some rice and peas. Can you walk us through how to make those rice and beans? Yes, I got you. So what I like to do is get yourself a big pot, and then you're going to add in about 2 cups of white rice. Make sure to rinse it, wash it, make sure there's none of that extraness up in there. And then you're going to add in your coconut milk, your vegetable broth, your garlic, add in a bouillon cube too, because you know, in Haitian cuisine, we be using that bouillon okra. And then you're also gonna add in some of that epis too. Add in your kidney beans, mix it all together, cover it, and let it cook for about 20 to 30 minutes on like medium high heat. And then boom, there you go. You got yourself some Haitian rice and beans. Now, the easiest way, if it comes out a little bit too soft, what I found out, and also fun fact, it's always better if it comes out just a little bit too soft than it comes out a little bit too hard. If it comes out a little too hard, it's like, oh goodness, how am I gonna save this rice? But if it comes out a little bit too soft, what you can do is actually add in a few pieces of some bread. Some stale bread works, typically any kind of hard bread, and just add that onto the top of your pot and then put the cover on. And then all of that bread will soak up any of the excess moisture and allow it to be fluffy and the perfect kind of rice you like. So there are easy ways to save yourself some rice. Now, as you can see, I'm plating up myself a big selection of this deliciousness. And then we are going to pile on our skewers. So one at a time, let's do 3 of these. She is gorgeous. Oh, this is looking like fine dining. Look at what we are doing right there, y'all. Now, I also had some green onion I wanted to add in. Just a little splash of some color on top. And then I always like to serve mine with a side of some dipping sauce, y'all. So as you can see, there we go, our Haitian epis skewers. And oh, another fun ingredient you can add onto this, cauliflower, broccoli. I don't know why I didn't mention that earlier, y'all, but she good. All right, so let me get myself a bite of everything that I know is so right, y'all. That looks gorgeous. She is fabulous. Look at that. Don't get a good look of all of that. This is something you would have literally at like a 5-star restaurant, but we made it right here, right now, today, up in the kitchen. All right, so I got myself a delicious skewer. I got myself some delicious epis, creamy epis. I just added in some plant-based mayonnaise. This is so good, I can already tell. Oh, wow. So much flavor. Woo! So much spice. It hit me. It hit the back of my throat. Wow. Oh. Yo. The mushrooms are meaty. The peppers are perfectly soft. Let me get some of this rice too, y'all. Because, oh, the mushrooms. Yo, the trumpet mushrooms. Yo, this rice is so good. If you are not adding epis into your rice, yo, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Wow. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get one more dip. Wow. So somebody said, how does it impact the flavor? Does any heat boil off of the rice? Are you talking about, oh, let's see, when you use the epis in the rice? Oh, wow. It impacts it so much. So basically, the epis is like a super condensed flavor bomb. And if you add it into your rice, you add it into your quinoa, you add it into some mashed potatoes, whatever you add it into, it's going to have so much intense flavor to it because it has that acidity, it's got that sweetness, it's got that herbiness from all the greens in there, honestly, especially since I added extra greens on this, from the celery, from the parsley, from that thyme, from the green onion. I mean, all of these ingredients together combined just pack a punch full of flavor. So I wouldn't say any of it cooks off of the rice, it cooks into the rice. All of that seasoning, that spice, that herbiness, that umami-ness, all that gets in there. So let me get more of this right here, y'all. Oh, y'all, this is bomb. I've been so excited to eat it, and today's the day. Could you also just put all the vegetables into a pan and bake it with epis if you don't have skewers? Absolutely. Please do that. That is one of my favorite recipes to do. In fact, I'm going to show y'all. So something I love to do, just grab yourself a bunch of your favorite vegetables. Literally go from rainbow order, red, all the way to purple, and roast them all on a huge pan. Add in this seasoning, mix it all together. And then I would also add in some chickpeas or some lentils just to add in that nice little crunchy plant protein, or add in some seeds, pepitas. Ooh, add a little pomegranate on top too if you're feeling that little sweet crunchiness too. And yeah, just make sure you are getting in some meaty mushrooms. And if you're not using mushrooms, I would definitely use some eggplant, some cauliflower, or even some jackfruit. Hopefully y'all have had jackfruit before. But it's, oh, so good, y'all. So that's actually one of the easiest ways to make a plant-based recipe, is just put all of the ingredients on a pan, pour over some seasoning. I love to use poultry seasoning because it's got that herbiness and it makes everything taste so good, especially some potatoes. Another thing you could put on this, potatoes, y'all. Imagine this with the mushroom, with the potato, with some zucchini, with some carrot. That sounds so good to me, y'all. Ooh, so, so good. All right, y'all. Well, I want us to take one more look at what I have created here today. These are Haitian epis skewers, spicy, a little creamy, a little Haitian rice underneath. And this is a gift of my culture, honoring my ancestors from my heart to yours. Thank you again so much to our friends at Honda for putting together this wonderful, epic cooking experience. If y'all want to see more of my recipes, be sure to go follow me, One Great Vegan. Find me on all social platforms, literally all across the internet. Gabrielle Reyes, One Great Vegan, O-N-E, Great Vegan. And yeah, y'all, I cannot wait to see you all whenever we get cooking up in this wonderful world next time. Do not forget, no matter what, at the end of the day, always, always, always sing your song, do your dance, and speak your truth. Goodbye, my loves. I will see you all next time. Y'all check this out on your way out of here because this is, ooh, so good. I'll see y'all. Goodbye. Light and love. And I'm going to eat this too on my way out, okay? Because she good. Y'all let me know if you make this recipe too.